Nice.
It was a great game. Something you like to watch, not a blowout. Oh, yeah.
They're all great.
I'm across the street down.
Okay.
Not too far.
1970.
Well, Papa was my all-time Mustang. Yeah.
Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to Morelli Field in Melrose, Massachusetts for game number 1 of the 2018 Intercity League Championship Series between the third-seeded Watertown Reds and the top-seeded Lexington Blue Sox. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as public service to all the fans in attendance tonight, we ask that you please remain alert throughout the game and watch for any foul balls hitting your general vicinity. Thank you. And now here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Watertown Reds, leading off and playing center field, number 12, Kyle Levine. Batting second and playing right field, number 7, Ben Johnston. Batting third and playing shortstop, number 11, Will Brennan. Batting cleanup and playing second base, number 14, Logan Gillis. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 44, Dan Chasen. Batting sixth and catching, number 13, Jake Miller. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 25, Sean Callahan. Batting eighth and playing first base, number 9, Justin Foreman. Batting ninth and playing left field, number 27, Steve Tremontozzi. Starting pitcher for Watertown tonight here at game number 1 is number 34, Matt Haran, and the Reds are managed by Joe Chiodo. Now for the host Lexington Blue Sox, leading off and playing right field, number 6, Aaron Barboza. Batting second and catching, number 16, Jeff Vigers. Batting third and playing center field, number 10, Taylor Ferguson. Batting cleanup and playing third base, number 18, Richie Burgos. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 5, Dorian Rojas. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 24, Julian Alvarez. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 4, Ross Curley. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 17, Thomas Russo. And batting ninth and playing left field, number 29, Dominic Zaire. Starting pitcher for the Blue Sox in game number 1 will be number 45, Matt Karras, and the Blue Sox are managed by Rick DeAngelis. Our umpires for tonight's game, Tom Ryberg will be calling the balls and strikes, Dan Henry is at first base, Billy Carroll at second base, and Joe Pescucci will be umpiring at third. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to please rise, move your caps, your attention to the flag out in right center field for the playing of our national anthem.
From Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass., this is Lexington Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Tonight, for the 12th consecutive year, the Lexington Blue Sox play Game 1 of the Intercity League Championship Series against the Watertown Reds. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. The Blue Sox have been here plenty of times before. It's their 12th consecutive year in the finals, and they had to win one of the grindiest series they've ever played in order to advance to the championship series against the Alabrandis, making their first appearance in the Intercity League postseason in their first year of play in the Intercity League after winning 8 consecutive Yawkey League championships. The Watertown Reds returned to the Intercity League Championship Series for the first time since 2010. Back then, they were swept by the Lexington Blue Sox in 3 games, but those games were all played at their respective home fields at Center Field and Victory Field. For the 5th consecutive year, we are playing the entire championship series at Morelli. And the Blue Sox looking to claim a 4th consecutive championship and 14th overall. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Zorian, America's baseball brand and the official bat and glove provider of the Lexington Blue Sox. For the visiting Watertown Reds in the visiting black jerseys with the white and black caps and red letters and numbers, Kyle Levine is going to lead it off in center field, followed by Ben Johnston in right. Will Brennan is at short. Logan Gillis is at second. Dan Chasen is at third. Jake Miller is behind the plate. Sean Callahan is the DH. Justin Foreman is at first, and rounding out the lineup in left field is Steve Tramontozzi. On the mound for the Watertown Reds is the probable Intercity League Pitcher of the Year, Matt Horan, who is making his 2nd appearance of the postseason. Got the win in 6 2/3 innings against Wakefield 4 nights ago, allowing 9 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. The Watertown Reds offense will face the veteran Matt Karras, getting the ball in Game 1 of the Intercity League Championship Series, and the Blue Sox in their camo uniforms, and of course, baseball players being the most superstitious creatures on the planet, that's what they won all 3 games of the Intercity League semifinals against the Alabrandis wearing, so they will see if it brings them luck tonight. Here is the fastest man in the Intercity League, Kyle Levine, to lead things off. The first pitch at 8:04 is outside, says home plate umpire Tom Ryberg. 1-0, we're underway. Tom Ryberg calling the balls and strikes. Dan Henry, as this is fouled off, 1-1. Dan Henry at first, Billy Carroll at second, and Joe Pascucci at third. Those are your umpires for Game 1 tonight. Levine takes inside, 2-1. Levine on the postseason batting .632 as he lines this one foul. Strike 2 with 2 doubles and 4 RBIs and 7 runs scored. But here's the thing. He's 0 for 1 in stolen base attempts. He swings and misses at the changeup by Karras, and that's out number 1. And even though he hasn't stolen a base this postseason, it's always important to get him off the bases so you don't have to deal with his speed. Here's Ben Johnston, the right fielder, .476 hitter in the postseason with 2 doubles and 10 RBIs, which is not even first on the team this postseason. The man on deck, Will Brennan, leads the club in that category with 11, as that brushes him back a bit for ball 1. I told you that the Blue Sox, had to win a grindy series in which they left 45 men on base over the course of 5 games. They won Game 5 1-0 on just 3 hits and didn't even get a hit to record that run, as it was scored on a sequence of 2 errors in Game 5. 3-0 the count to Johnston. And figure, well, the way Watertown played in their first round series against Andres, that's in there for strike 3-1, and their semifinals against Wakefield, they're not going to win a grind. They're not going to win games 1-0 or 3-2 like they did in the semifinals against the Alabrandis. This is ground to the left side. Shortstop Curly backhands, fires to first, and they got the tag. Dorian Rojas pulled off the bag, but he swipes Johnston on the back for out number 2.
The shortstop, number 11, Will Brennan.
And that'll bring up the dangerous Will Brennan. And boy, is he ever dangerous this postseason. .455 with 1 double, 2 triples, 2 homers, and 11 RBIs. Good for an OPS of 1493. Brennan takes outside, ball 1. I say that the Blue Sox, this is grounded to the left side again. This will be scooped up by the third baseman and overthrown and all the way onto Linfels Parkway by Richie Burgos. Hopefully that didn't take out a car window. Oh, it didn't? Oh, it hit the fence? Okay. Well, that's lucky, but...
The second baseman, number 14, Logan Gillis.
So it's a two-base E5 that puts Brennan in scoring position. And here's Logan Gillis, the second baseman, batting .421 with 1 homer and 6 RBIs. But as I was saying, I say the Blue Sox won't win grindy games against the Reds, but they won grindy games against the Reds in the regular season. All 4 games against the Reds were grinds. All 3 of the 4 games were decided by 1 run, as that's on the outside corner, 1-1. And all 4 games were decided in the final at-bat of the team that won. The only game that was decided by more than 1 run was the one where Curley hit a walk-off grand slam. So it might as well have been a 1-run game. 2-1 the count to Gillis. Blue Sox won the season series 3-1 against the Reds. This is fouled straight back, and the count will even at 2. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another swing and miss on the changeup, and the side is retired. After half an inning, Reds nothing, Blue Sox coming up. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
1 runner left on base. Scheduled to bat for the Lexington Blue Sox in the bottom of the first inning, Aaron Barboza, Jeff Vigers, and Taylor Ferguson.
Hey, Blue Sox fans, don't strike out when it comes to your dental health. Call Dr. Tom Russo of Winchester. He'll make sure your smile is a real home run. Dr. Tom Russo, 781-721-4700. And here is the Blue Sox lineup. Again, presented by Zorian, America's baseball brand, and official bat and glove supplier of the Lexington Blue Sox. Aaron Barboza is going to lead it off in right field, followed by Jeff Vigers behind the plate. Taylor Ferguson is in center. Richie Burgos is at third. Dorian Rojas is at first. Julian Alvarez is the DH. Ross Curley is at short. Thomas Russo is at second. And Dominic Zaire rounds out the lineup in left field. They will be facing, as I mentioned earlier, Matt Horan, who is the probable Intercity League Pitcher of the Year. And I say probable, but I think I'm being generous to the other candidates. He finished 8-0 with an ERA under 1.5. And getting his second action of the postseason, so he is well rested. Well, actually, not that well rested. 3 days rest. Hasn't been needed much this postseason, but he got the win against Wakefield on the 19th. So here is Aaron Barboza to lead things off for the Blue Sox. Barboza has been a sight for sore eyes in a Lexington offense that struggled in the first series against the Alabrandies. Had an on-base percentage of .417. He takes strike 1. Their offensive superstar of the series, though, Morgan Brown, not in the lineup. He batted .455 in those 5 games with 1 homer and 6 RBIs. This is flared to the left and out of play for strike 2. Horan faced the Blue Sox once on July 22nd, got the win, 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 1 home run surrendered. As this is grounded to second, and on to first with it is Gillis for the first out of the ball game. First out of the bottom of the first, I should say.
Number 16, Jeff Vigers.
So here's Jeff Vigers, and of course that win by Horan was the only win the Reds had over the Blue Sox this year. So they've got the right man for the job here in Game 1. Here is Jeff Vigers. He flares this one into left field, and that'll get a down for a base hit. It gets past the left fielder, Tramontozzi. He had the sliding attempt. He nearly made a fantastic catch, but instead it'll be a one-out double for Vigo. So first pitch swinging, he picks on it and just gets a bloop double into left field.
The center fielder, number 10, Taylor Ferguson.
And that'll bring up Taylor Ferguson. 188 hitter on the postseason with 1 double and 1 RBI. Vigers picks up his 4th hit and first extra base hit of the postseason. And that's in there for strike 1. The Blue Sox as a team had 4 extra base hits in the semifinals against the Alabrandis. Fastball for strike 2. And 2 of them were off the bat of, again, Morgan Brown, who's not in the lineup tonight. Ferguson grounds this one to short. Avoiding the ball is Vigers. He'll get to third, and the throw by Brennan to Foreman is in time for out number 2, but the Blue Sox have a runner 90 feet away from scoring for the cleanup man, Richie Burgos.
The third baseman, number 18, Richie Burgos.
Ferguson, by the way, against the Reds on the regular season was 3 for 10 with a homer and 2 RBIs. Here's Richie Burgos, 2 for 12 with 5 walks in the semifinals against the Alabrandis, and he takes down and away ball 1. Blue Sox as a team hit 246 in the semifinals. Meanwhile, the Reds on the postseason as a team are hitting 384. Low for ball 2. Vigers at third after the 1-out double and the ground out to short. 3-0. Burgos taking all the way there, strike 1, and now we'll go to work. Burgos against the Reds was 5 for 10 with 3 RBIs in the regular season and 3 runs scored. Up and in, ball 4. And the Blue Sox have runners at the corners with 2 outs.
First baseman, number 5, Dorian Rojas.
That'll bring up Dorian Rojas, and the last time he was here, well, he hit the walk-off championship-winning single against the Watertown Reds in the 10th inning of Game 3. And he gets brushed back there for ball 1. Vigers at third, Burgos at first, 2 down here in the bottom of the first. He grounds this one to the left side and through for a base hit, and the Blue Sox take the lead. Same spot as the game-winning RBI, the championship-winning RBI single last year.
The designated hitter, number 24, Julian Alvarez.
Same direction, anyways. Yeah, I know. So Dorian picks up the RBI, and here's Julian Alvarez. And Haran, a little wild here in the first. Alvarez, 4 for 12 with 3 runs scored, but no RBIs in the semifinals against the Alabrandis. He takes low for ball 2. Jules was 1 for 4 with 2 walks in 2 games against the Reds this year. Taken for strike 1. Alvarez is a career .318 hitter in the postseason. Batted .394 in 2016, but only .190 in 2017. This is flared to the right and out of play on the Linfels Parkway. And that'll even the count at 2. Burgos at second, Rojas at first. Swing and a miss, strike 3 at a breaking ball down and away. And the inning is over, but the Blue Sox take the lead on 1 run and 2 hits and leave 2. After 1 inning complete, it is the Blue Sox 1 and the Reds nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
For the Reds in the top of the second inning, Dan Chasen, Jake Miller, and Sean Callahan. Ladies and gentlemen, for the 5th consecutive year, the Intercity League is pleased to be playing its championship series here at Morelli Field. We would like to thank all of the hard-working staff that helped make this possible. Also, for the 5th straight year, the Intercity League is taking donations during this ICL Championship Series for the Pete Frady's #3 Fund to assist Pete in his battle with ALS. A minimum $5 donation is requested, but donations of any amount are welcome and be made at the table located at the main entrance to the ballpark. Thank you.
Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. "17 pitches in the first inning for Matt Karras, only 9 for strikes. And he will face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters Dan Chasen, Jake Miller, and Sean Callahan.
Leading off for the Reds in the top of the second inning, the third baseman, number 44, Dan Chasen.
Jake Miller, .381 hitter with 1 triple, 2 homers, and 5 RBIs on the postseason. Reds have hit 7 home runs and driven in 51 as a team this postseason. Down and away for ball 1. Popped up, and that'll get out of play. And not land to the bleachers. It's 1-1. Check swing, and it's down and away, 2-1 with the slider by Karras. Three and one. Just missed inside, and Chasen draws a walk. I misspoke. I was giving you Miller's stats. My mistake. Chasen on the postseason, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, 364. And here is Jake Miller. As I mentioned, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, and a 381 average on the postseason. Chasen also has 3 doubles. Throw to first, and Chasen, who's not really a threat to run, gets back safely. The Blue Sox scored 13 runs in the 5 games against the Alabrandies, as that's in there for strike 1. The Reds scored 13 runs in their Game 4 shutout win over Wakefield on Monday night and scored 16 runs against the Merchants last Friday night. And that bounces away from Vigers, and Chasen is going to go up to second on the wild pitch. So the Reds have the tying run in scoring position, with nobody out here in the top of the second. The Reds allowed 3 or more runs in their first 5 postseason games before shutting out Wakefield In fact, they allowed exactly 3 runs in 4 of their first 5 games before Wakefield hung a 7 spot on them in a 7-5 win in Game 1 of the semifinals, and that plunks Miller. So now it's Karras' turn to be a little wild here.
The designated hitter, number 25, Sean Callahan.
And here is Sean Callahan, longtime Reds backstop who is playing in his final season with the Reds, and wouldn't it be great for one of the best offensive catchers in Intercity League history to go out with a championship? Well, it would be great for him. Strike 1. Of course, it's a championship that has eluded the Reds. Haven't been this far since 2010, and they want to make a statement and unseat the Blue Sox. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Callahan, the DH. He's batting .167 with 1 double and 3 runs scored this postseason. Outside, 1-2. With the 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming up, Karras doesn't have to go strikeout, double play, or double play strikeout. He can really go in either direction if he wants. And that miss, 2-2. Blue Sox infield wanted the call. They didn't get it. Justin Foreman on deck. Check swing, and they'll appeal. And he did not go, says Dan Henry. And from 0-2 to 3-2 for Callahan. Now he's got to challenge him, doesn't he? 2-seam fastball down and in. He missed. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded without the aid of a hit. 2 walks and a hit batsman.
The first baseman, number 9, Justin Foreman.
And that'll bring up Justin Foreman. Foreman is 0 for 14 on the postseason with 1 RBI and 2 sacrifice hits and 3 runs scored. Trying to erase that with a big hit here. He does! It's into the left field corner! 1 run scores! Being waved around third is Miller. The throw to the plate is cut off. It's 2-1 Reds.
Left fielder, number 27, Steve Tremontosi.
So Justin Foreman breaks out of a 0 for 14 slide in a big way, slapping the first pitch into left field. And now here's Steve Tremontosi, who takes ball 1. Matt Karras still doesn't have an out here in the top of the second. He gets strike 1 over, 1-1. Callahan at second, Foreman at first. Fouled off, and it's 1-2. Third baseman Burgos was playing in, anticipating the bunt from Tremontosi. That would put second and third with only 1 out and bring up Levine with 2 runners in scoring position. But instead, Tremontosi was swinging away. And now he's behind 1-2. This is lined right to Burgos, and he'll hold on to the ball. He bluffed the throw to second, and he might have had Callahan with a strong throw. But instead, it's out number 1.
The center fielder, number 12, Kyle Levine.
That'll turn over the lineup for Kyle Levine, a tough man to double up indeed. He struck out swinging to begin the ball game. So 2 runs on 1 hit thus far this inning. And this is lined to short. And back to second, and they did not get the double play. Second base umpire Billy Carroll says that Russo was off the bag. He says he tagged him. And I think they're going to ask for help here. Levine is out. That's not the question. Carroll is going... Rick D'Angelo's out to have a word with Carroll, and now they are going to have a conversation with the umpires. I mean, you have 4 umpires in the championship series for a reason. They are going to converse about this. Well, we can rewind the stream and see what happens. Although I might be a little too far away for this to tell. And he's safe. So the call is an out on Levine, a line out to the shortstop. But the inning continues for Ben Johnston.
The right fielder, number 7, Ben Johnston.
Johnston grounded out to short his first time up in the first. So Burgos bluffed the throw to second, didn't get Callahan. Curley tried the throw to second and didn't get him. Slider on the inside corner for strike 1. Infield playing back here. And the pitch. This is grounded down the third base line. It is a fair ball, and Burgos does not win the race to third against the slow-footed Callahan.
The shortstop, number 11, Will Brennan.
And the bases reload for maybe the most dangerous hitter in the Intercity League, the most complete hitter, Will Brennan. It's a base hit for Johnston. And how do the Blue Sox, who have had 2, maybe 3 opportunities to get out of this, now have to deal with Brennan? Brennan again coming into play, .455 on the postseason, and batted .288 with 21 RBIs in the regular season. In his career, he's a .282 hitter in the postseason. He fouls this one off for strike 1. The 2 homers and 11 RBIs are by far career highs in the postseason for Brennan. Low, good block by Vigers, and it's 1-1. 8th man to bat in the inning is Brennan, the Red shortstop. Brennan was 0 for 6 in the 2 games he played in last year. Grounds this one to second, fielded by Russo. Underhands to the shortstop, covering, and the inning is over. It could have been a lot worse. The Reds settle for 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and leave 3. After 1.5, it is the Reds 2 and the Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Ross Curley, Thomas Russo, and Dominic Zaire. There were no errors.
You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. So Matt Horan, after falling behind in the bottom of the first, now has a lead to work with in the bottom of the second, and he will face the bottom third of the order, Ross Curley, Thomas Russo, and Dominic Zaire. Roscoe 1 for 14 with 1 RBI in the semifinals against the Alabrandis, and he swings and misses at a fastball for strike 1. He takes low, ball 1. From 2012 to 2014, Ross batted under 100 in the postseason, but the following 3 years, as that's low, ball 2, he has really turned it on. Batted .478 in 2015 with 4 doubles, 1 triple, and 7 RBIs. .250 with 1 double in 2016, and 2 doubles and 5 RBIs, and a .316 average last year in the postseason. But right now, 1 for 14 this year, but he's ahead 3-1. Horan working exclusively from the stretch, and the pitch is popped up into shallow right center. In comes Levine, makes the catch on the run for out number 1. That'll bring up Thomas Russo, the second baseman.
The second baseman, number 17, Thomas Russo.
Russo, .250 in limited action this postseason, 1 for 4 with 1 walk. Did not play in either of the last 2 games of the series against the Alabrandis. 1-0 to Russo. Russo fouls this one straight back, and it's 1-1. Russo batted only .188 in the postseason last year, but had 2 doubles and 6 RBIs and 3 sacrifice flies. So he made the most of his opportunities last year. 2-1. Fouled into the screen, and that'll make it 2-2. And Russo inside out swing in a left field, down for a base hit. So that'll bring up Dominic Zaire, and what a series he had. 6 for 8 with 3 RBIs. Came off the bench. Came off the bench in Game 2 after Josue Feliciano went down with an injury, sliding into first base as that's down away for ball 1, and all he has done since then is rake. His on-base percentage is .778. Fouled straight back. 1-1. Him and Morgan Brown, the unlikely heroes, offensively speaking, in the semifinals. But it was really the pitching that had to win the games for the Blue Sox to grind out of tough situations. There was only one game where it was really, well, the first 2 games were sort of never in doubt. Swing and a miss, throw down to second, and it goes into center field, and Russo will hold at second with the stolen base. Yeah, the Alabrandis won game 1 5-2. Were up 5-0 going into the seventh. That was the only game that really wasn't ever in doubt. Even the 6-0 win by the Blue Sox in game 2, there were some nerves until the end of that game when the Blue Sox blew it open with the grand slam by Brown. Fouled off, and it remains 1-2. The one thing the Blue Sox have done well this postseason more than any other is working counts. They got Horan to throw 20 pitches in the first inning, and you know he's a workhorse, so that alone isn't going to kill him. Already went 6-2, already pitching on 3 days rest after 6 2/3 on Sunday night. 2-2 the count. This is fouled off. Seventh pitch of the at-bat upcoming. 15 pitches through through an inning and the first third of this inning. This is fouled off by Zaire. I can't talk tonight. That's pitch number 16 of the second inning. He's up to 36. And the Blue Sox, you know, it's like I use the term war of attrition. It hasn't, but the pitching on the other side hasn't deteriorated as much as you would think for the Blue Sox to really break through. And Zaire swings and misses for strike 3, 2 down. And that'll bring up Aaron Barboza, the right fielder. Barboza grounded out to second his first time up in the first. Blue Sox led 1-0 after 1, but the Reds scored 2 after loading the bases with nobody out in the top half of this inning, as Barboza takes ball 1. Barboza with a eagle eye. Drew 10 walks to just 9 strikeouts in the regular season. He flares this one foul to the left under Tremont Street, and we have an official broadcast. Russo still at second with 2 out. Russo's single, the third hit of the ball game for the Blue Sox. Upstairs, 2-1. Barboza came to the Blue Sox last year, and they saw him as a possible big threat on the base paths, but he only batted .205 in 15 games. This year was his coming out party for the Blue Sox. .487 in 13 games, with 3 RBIs and 7 steals in 8 attempts, and 10 walks, and I misspoke, 3 strikeouts. I didn't give him enough credit. 10 walks and 3 strikeouts in the regular season, but he's even with Horan, 2-2, and he grounds this one to the right side, eaten up by the first baseman Foreman. He'll step on the bag, and the inning is over. After 2 complete, still Reds 2, Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Watertown 2 and Lexington 1. Scheduled to bat for the Reds in the top of the third inning. Logan Gillis, Dan Chasen, and Jake Miller. Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that this championship series is being broadcast live on Local Sports Productions. Links to the video webcasts with Sam Feely on play-by-play can be found at localsportsproductions.com and on Twitter at LSP37. All webcasts are archived for later viewing on the YouTube LSP channel.
You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. Matt Karras, the fast warmer, ready to go for the top of the third, and he will face the middle third of the order, Logan Gillis, Dan Chasen, and Jake Miller. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 4 left for the Reds. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error, 3 left for the Blue Sox. Gillis struck out swinging his first time up, hits this one to center field. In comes Ferguson. He reaches up and makes the catch for a 1-pitch out to begin the top of the third.
The third baseman, number 44, Dan Chasen.
That'll bring up Dan Chasen, who got the party started in the top of the second with a walk. Advanced to second on a wild pitch and then eventually scored on Foreman's single. 1-0 the count. Swing and a miss at a changeup away, and it's 1-1. Chopped down the third baseline foul. That'll make it 1-2. Karras in the regular season pitched in 5 games at a 2-1 record. That's fouled off. 3.04 ERA, 23 innings, 12 hits, 10 runs, 6 of which were earned. Walked 6, struck out 14, and surrendered 1 home run. Faced the Reds on July 2nd, went 4 2/3 innings, allowing 7 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Popped up. Rojas backpedaling, and he makes the catch for out number 2. That'll bring up Jake Miller, who was hit by a 1-1 pitch and eventually came around to score in the second. Strike 1 in there from Karras to Miller. 1-1. Change up again, and it's 1-2. Karras' last appearance against the Reds in the postseason came on August 16th, 2016. As this is skied into right field, down the line, out goes Rojas, in comes Barboza, it drops! On his way to second is Miller, and he'll get there safely. As I was saying, Karras, 5 innings in that win against Watertown on August 16th, 2016. 2 runs, 1 of which was earned, no walks, 3 strikeouts, surrendered 1 home run.
The designated hitter, number 25, Sean Callahan.
That was really in no man's land. And Miller is aboard for the second time. That brings up Sean Callahan. Grinded out a walk his first time up as Karras misses for ball 1. This is skied into left center. Zaire makes the catch. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. After 2.5. Reds 2, Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Bottom of the third inning, Jeff Vigers, Taylor Ferguson, and Richie Burgos.
The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of this or any past LSP video broadcast, or one of several different designs of bumper stickers. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store or the LSP Facebook page after the game to place your order. And remember, all orders within the continental United States come with free shipping.
Number 16, Jeff Vigers.
Jeff Vigers to lead things off here in the bottom of the third, to be followed by Taylor Ferguson and Richie Burgos. Fast inning there for Karras, 11 pitches, 8 for strikes. A feeble swing and a miss there by Vigo, and he's behind 0-1. Vigers doubled and scored back in the first. Checks his swing. They'll appeal, and he did not go, says Joe Pescucci, and it's 1-1. "45 pitches to this point for Haran. 28 for strikes. Reach for and into left field, and stumbling and not making the catch is Tramontosi, and on his way to second is Vigers. He gets there safely. Tramontosi gets burned by Vigers again.
The center fielder, number 10, Taylor Ferguson.
Both of Vigers' doubles have come at the expense of fielding miscues by Tramontosi in left field, and that puts the tying run in scoring position for Taylor Ferguson, who grounded out to short his first time up. And he skies this one into right field. Camping under it is the second baseman, Gillis. He makes the catch, 1 down. Not the ideal way to come off a leadoff double, and that'll bring up Richie Burgos.
The third baseman, number 18, Richie Burgos.
Burgos walked his first time up in the first. It was Burgos' 6th walk of the postseason. He fouls this one off, and he's behind 0-1. He has 6 walks compared to just 2 hits. Low for ball 1, it skips away from Miller, and up to third goes Vigers on the wild pitch. Corner, well, I was expecting Chasen at least to come in, but well, now he starts to creep in. First baseman Foreman is in. Middle infielder's playing back. Looking like they're going to concede the run if it's hit to them. It's outside, 2-1. Fouled off. 2-2. Blue Sox with 3 doubles in the Alibrandi series. They've got 2 doubles here tonight, both by Vigers. So Vigers now batting 5 for 16 on the postseason. Foul tipped into the mitt for strike 3. Blew the fastball by him. 2 down, and that brings up Dorian Rojas.
The first baseman, number 5, Dorian Rojas.
And the Blue Sox, who were plagued by runners left on base all last series, do not want to leave the tying run at third here. Rojas had an RBI single his last time up, looking for another one here. Inside, ball 1. Big gap in right center for Dorian. Strike 1. Haran would like an easy inning compared to the first 2. And he gets ahead 1-2. Really buckling down here, trying to preserve a 1-run lead. He's ahead of Dorian 1-2 with Vigers at third. And 2 outs. Ball 2. Haran took a few steps towards the first base dugout. Dorian jackknife, bracing himself for maybe a called third strike, but not there. 2-2 the count to Rojas. He fouls this one off. Now Haran steps off the rubber and Dorian steps out of the batter's box. Up and in. Full count with Julian Alvarez on deck. Big pitch looming here for Rojas. Full count, 2 out, tying run at third. The payoff pitch. Into left center field. Levine makes the catch, and the Blue Sox have left 4 through the first 3 innings, 3 of them in scoring position. After 3 complete, still Reds 2, Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Series for the Watertown Reds, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, 5 runners left on base. For the Lexington Blue Sox, 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error, and 4 runners left on base. Scheduled to bat for the Reds in the top of the 4th inning, Justin Forbin, Steve Tramontosi, and Kyle Levine.
LSP's next broadcast is tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m. with Game 2 of the 2018 Intercity League Championship Series between the Blue Sox and the Watertown Reds. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. So, in the last 13 years, the Blue Sox 1-0 win over the Alabrandies was the first ever 1-0 win by the Blue Sox in the postseason, as the first pitch is skied into right center field. In comes Barboza, makes the catch for out number 1. And Justin Foreman, after a 2-run single in his first at-bat, is retired on the first pitch of the 4th.
The left fielder, number 27, Steve Tramontosi.
So, each of the last 2 innings have begun with a first pitch out. First pitch outfield flyout for the Reds. 0-1 the count to Steve Tramontosi, who is behind 0-2. So yeah, the game the other night, first ever 1-0 win by the Blue Sox in the postseason. They've lost 2 postseason games 1-0. Including the 1-hit shutout by Jared Frenny on 2 days rest, I think, or 2 or 3 days. It wasn't more than 3. Oh, he did not go, says Dan Henry. It was 2013. I remember that. 1-0, 1-hit shutout by Jared Frenny in Game 4 of the ICL Championship Series in 2013. That was one of the 1-0 losses. 3-2, and Matt Karras does not want to lose the number 9 hitter. After being ahead of him 0-2, should be 2 out already. There he is. Third strikeout for Karras. 2 down for the leadoff hitter, Kyle Levine. Levine flew out, light out to short and struck out swinging in his first 2 at-bats. Takes inside, ball 1. We approach the 1-hour mark of this ball game. 1-1. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, 5 left for the Reds. 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error, 4 left for the Blue Sox. That's fouled off, and it's 1-2. This is line down the left field line, is a foul ball. And the Blue Sox escape danger there. That's probably a triple for Levine. Well, Levine was late on that one, fouling it the other way. The 1-2. Grounder to the left side, through for a base hit. And Levine is aboard for the first time tonight. He's 1 for 3. That'll bring up Ben Johnston, the right fielder. 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out to short. So no 3 up, 3 down inning for Karras. Now we'll have to deal with the speed demon Kyle Levine in his head and at first base. Snap throw over to first. Third time the Reds have gone first 2 retired and then get a base runner on with 2 outs. Fouled off by Johnston for strike 1. Their lone runs, 2 runs they scored, coming in the second when the first 4 men reached. Throw over to first, and back safely is Levine without a tag. Rotate the mound, as they say. Levine getting his lead at first. A little bit of a closer play there. Still only one strike to Johnston. Johnson stepping out of the box to adjust his batting gloves. Runner goes, the pitch is a strike, throw down to second, it's on the money! They got him! Jeff Figers with a laser of a throw to retire Kyle Levine, and after 3.5, we're halfway home. It is still the Reds 2 and the Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Scheduled bat for the Blue Sox in the bottom of the fourth inning, Julian Alvarez, Ross Curley, and Thomas Russo. Oh, okay. Oh, did the pitcher caught it and then threw it to you?
No, that's what I did.
Oh. Oh, you were batting, you mean? Or, you said you were playing second base, right?
Hey, Blue Sox fans, don't strike out when it comes to your dental health. Call Dr. Tom Russo of Winchester. He'll make sure your smile is a real home run. Dr. Tom Russo, 781-721-4700. Julian Alvarez, Ross Curley, and Thomas Russo due up in the bottom of the fourth for the Blue Sox. Alvarez struck out swinging with runners at first and second to end the first. And he hits this one into center field. Back goes Levine, camping under it. He makes the catch. One pitch, one out.
Shortstop number 4, Ross Curley.
I'll bring up Ross Curley, who flew out to center his first time up in the second. Blue Sox have left 4 men on through the first 3 innings, and 3 of those runners in scoring position. And they trail 2-1 here in Game 1 of the Intercity League Championship Series. Strike one. The Blue Sox have won 9 consecutive ICL Championship Series games. They've swept each of the last 3 Championship Series, twice against Andre and once against Reading, but in unfamiliar territory here. 1-1. That is not to say they've never trailed in those games. It's just that when you've swept 3 consecutive championships, this is down the right field line. Giving it a look is Johnston, but it'll be foul, and that'll make it 1-2. This is line. Oh, what a leaping catch by the first baseman Foreman for out number 2.
The second baseman, number 17, Thomas Russo.
The Blue Sox never trailed in the 2017 championship series against Reading. They were only tied once, and that was when it was 1-1 from the 6th until the walk-off single by Rojas in the bottom of the 10th. Ball one to Thomas Russo, who singled and stole second in the second. Two and 0. This is down the left field line, but that's going to slice foul, and that'll make it 2-1. The last time the Blue Sox trailed in an Intercity League Championship Series was in Game 3 of the 2015 series in that epic 10-inning slugfest over the course of 4 days, 15-14, that ended on a walk-off suicide squeeze by Josue Feliciano. 2-1 the count. And the pitch. This is grounded to the right side. Foreman gobbles it up. Slow to get rid of it, but Haran is covering. And the side is retired. And that is our first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. After 4 complete, Reds 2, Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Watertown 2 and Lexington 1. Scheduled to bat for the Reds in the top of the 5th inning. Ben Johnston, Will Brennan, and Logan Gillis.
Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information.
Leading off for the Reds in the top of the 5th inning, the right fielder, number 7, Ben Johnston.
2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 5 left for the Reds. 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error, 4 left for the Blue Sox. Heart of the order due up for the Reds, 3, 4, and 5, Brennan, Gillis, and Chasen. So that's in there for strike 1 to Will Brennan, who reached on a 2-base error in the first and ground into a fielder's choice to end the second. 1-1. Excuse me, Ben Johnston. Yep. Ben Johnston. My bad. Thank you. Thrown behind Johnston, and it's 2-1. I put an arrow next to in Ben Johnston's box in the 4th, and just to say carry over, and I keep screwing that up. Outside 3-1. Lined into right field and down for a base hit. So for the first time since the 2nd inning, the Reds have the leadoff man aboard. Now it's Will Brennan. It's going to bring Dan Graham out to the mound. Usually when Matt Karras is on the mound, the first visit is usually made by Rick DeAngelis. But Danny Graham doing the pitching coach duties tonight. Brennan, again, Reach on an error in the first and grounded to fielder's choice in the second. Big spot here for Will Brennan. And he takes down and away ball one. Outside corner to even the count. Misses down and in with a slider. And it's 2-1. This is grounded to the right side. Rojas will get the sure out at first, and it's no longer a force at second, so Curley had to tag, but he did not get the out of Johnston. And now that's going to bring Rick DeAngelis out to the mound, and that is going to be it for Matt Karras. So Karras departs after 4 1/3, allowing 5 hits and 2 runs, still responsible for Johnston on second. We have a pitching change coming to you from Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass. Reds 2, Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel.
Number 32, Drew Brzezowski. There, I gave a little flourish just because it's one of my people.
Drew Brzezowski making his first appearance of the postseason in the regular season, 1-0 with a 2.03 ERA in 10 1/3 innings. He allowed 12 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts, and surrendered 1 home run. Brzezowski did not face the Watertown Reds on July 31st when 4 innings, got a no decision, 5 hits, 1 run allowed, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. That was the game that ended up clinching the number 1 seed for the Blue Sox.
The second baseman, number 14, Logan Gillis.
Logan Gillis will be the first assignment for Drew Brzezowski. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout to center. And Drew B misses outside for ball 1. Runner in scoring position for the Reds here. And time is called by Gillis before Brzezowski can make a throw to try and pick off Johnston. Strike 1. And nobody covering the bag is scampering back to second as Johnston. The line on Matt Karras, 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, still responsible for the runner on second. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 hit batsman, 1 wild pitch, 76 pitches, 44 for strikes. Strike 2. Brzezowski being very deliberate here with the runner at second. Check swing. They'll appeal down to first and no swing, says Dan Henry. It's ball 2. Gillis, 10 for 10 in stolen base attempts in the regular season, so he is definitely a threat. And Brzezowski steps off the rubber and looks him back. Two and two the count. Johnston, rather, and this swung on and missed. 4 strike 3, Gillis is retired. 2 down, that brings up Dan Chasen. I meant to say Johnston, not Gillis. Johnston, 2 for 4 in stolen base attempts. Maybe not as much as a threat as I anticipated. Chasen is 0 for 2, 0 for 1 rather, walked and popped up to first. Also scored in the second. Johnson still at second after the leadoff single. And that's way outside for ball 1. Vigers keeps it close to keep Johnston close. Two and 0. Down and away, 3 and 0 to the power hitting third baseman Dan Chasen, who was also caught and played first in his time with the Reds and DH'd. And now they're just going to put him on. So they'll try their chances with Jake Miller.
The catcher, number 13, Jake Miller.
Miller, 1 for 1, hit by a pitch and scored in the second and doubled in the third. Strike 1 to Miller, who, like many of the Reds, having a phenomenal postseason offensively. 2 homers and 5 RBIs. He pops this one into center field. In comes Ferguson. He dives, and he makes the catch. Taylor Ferguson with another spectacular catch in the outfield to take away a hit and a run. And after 4.5, it is still the Reds 2 and the Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL.
Left fielder number 29, Dominic Zaire.
Dominic Zaire to lead things off here in the bottom of the fifth, to be followed by Aaron Barboza and Jeff Vigers. Zaire is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 68 pitches through 4 innings for Matt Haran. Number 69 is strike 1. Nice pitch there. This is laced into left field. Tramontosi. This is no gimme given his play tonight, but he makes the catch. 4 out, number 1. So quickly, 1 down. The leadoff man has been retired in every inning except the third for the Blue Sox.
The right fielder number 6, Aaron Barboza.
Lap turns over for Aaron Barboza, who's hit 2 groundouts to the right side. And Barboza takes strike 1. So here are the Blue Sox with their MO of working counts and grinding out at-bats, and Haran is now starting to take advantage of that. As this is popped up, and this will get down in foul territory for strike 2. Barboza trying to bunt his way on any way you can to spark some offense, down 2-1. 4 hits and 4 left for the Blue Sox. And 7 in a row retired by Haran, looking to make it 8 in a row, ahead of Barboza. 0-2. The last man who reached, Jeff Vigers, is on deck. 1-2. This is grounded to the left side, gobbled up by the shortstop Brennan. Quick release, and he gets the out. So 3 groundouts for Aaron Barboza. There are 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th, and that'll bring up Jeff Vigers.
The catcher, number 16, Jeff Vigers.
Vigers 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and a run scored. And he has beaten up Tramontosi tonight with those doubles. Ball 1. Just 9 pitches last inning for Haran. After it looked like the Blue Sox were going to have another long set of innings and try to chase the starter like they did in the Alabrandi series. 2-0. And hasn't come to fruition. They need to start stringing some hits together and try and tie or take this lead. This is grounded up the middle, and Vigers is 3 for 3. So Vigers has Haran figured out. Will the rest of the Blue Sox figure him out?
The center fielder, number 10, Taylor Ferguson.
Ferguson hasn't figured him out, that's for sure. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out to short and a pop up to second. Vigers got good wheels at first, so he might try to create some offense here. Ferguson takes strike 1. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error, and 4 left for the Blue Sox. Through 4 2/3. Vigers runs. The pitch is fouled off. Way too late on that one was Ferg. Wouldn't be surprised to see Vigers try and run here again. Time is called at the very last moment by Ferguson. That'll mess you up if you're Haran. 0-2 the count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Haran picks up his 4th K, and after 5 complete, it is still the Reds 2 and the Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of this or any past LSP video broadcast, or one of several different designs of bumper stickers. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store or the LSP Facebook page after the game to place your order. And remember, all orders within the continental United States come with free shipping. Sean Callahan to lead things off here in the top of the 6th. Drew Brzezowski out there for his first full inning of work. Callahan 0 for 1 with a walk and a fly out to left. And he takes inside ball 1. Two and 0. Brzezowski pitched the championship clinching games in 2009, 2011, and 2013, all against the Andre Chiefs. Only in Game 5. 3-0 the count to Callahan. Taken all the way for strike 1. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. 7 left for the Reds. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error, 5 left for the Blue Sox. And Callahan draws his second walk.
The first baseman, number 9, Justin Foreman.
That'll bring up Justin Foreman, who has the big hit of this ball game, a 2-run single all the way back in the 2nd. We approach the hour-and-a-half mark of this ball game. We started at 8:04. Justin Foreman looking down to Joe Chiodo in the third base coach's box. Third baseman Burgos coming in, anticipating a bunt. And Brzezowski will step off the rubber and rainbow over to first. Snap throw to first and back safely. Brzezowski, a very good pickoff artist. And I think Callahan's gotten the point He's not really a threat to run, but another throw to first. Thrown over there like it's Kyle Levine. Now Foreman offered at it, and I pretty clear he offered at it. I was just waiting for the official call from Tom Ryberg, but that is strike one. So it looks like the bunt is on here for Foreman. Burgos in on the grass at third. He squares, gets it to the slow roller to the pitcher, Brzezowski, and that really slowed down as it approached him, so that gave Foreman some life to maybe beat it out, but the sacrifice is successful. Goes 1-3. And a runner in scoring position for the Reds.
The left fielder, number 27, Steve Tramontosi.
So that'll bring up Steve Tramontosi, 0 for 2 with a line out to third and a strikeout swinging. Fouled into the screen for strike one. Low for ball one. Is that a pinch runner at second for Callahan? Can't tell from here. Two and 0. 1-1 rather. 1-1. My bad. Got the scoreboard wrong. 2-1. 3-1. My bad. Okay, we're all right, folks. Sorry, a little discombobulated from another grind here at Morelli Field. Outside corner, full count to Tramontosi. This is into center field. Back goes Ferguson. He makes the catch, and he will chuck it into the infield to hold the runner at second. So 2 down, and the lineup turns over for Kyle Levine, who's 1 for 3. And now Matt Karras will go out to have a word with the guy who replaced him on the mound. And the entire infield coming in for this one. It's a good idea because you never know what Kyle Levine could do. Could try and drop down a bunt for a base hit.
The center fielder, number 12, Kyle Levine.
But he also excels in getting on base in general. 352 average at a 478 on base percentage, drew 18 walks in the regular season. Against the Blue Sox in the regular season, he was 2 for 7. Ball one to Levine. This is grounded to the left side. Tough play for Curley. Got him! Another swipe tag by Rojas to save an out, and the inning is over. After 5.5, it is still the Reds 2 and the Blue Sox 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. LSP's next broadcast is tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox take on the Reds in Game 2 of the 2018 Intercity League Championship Series. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. Middle third of the order due up for the Blue Sox. In the bottom of the sixth, Richie Burgos, Dorian Rojas, and Julian Alvarez. Burgos is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Matt Horan's still out there pitching on 3 days rest in Game 1. Ball 1. Fouled off, even count at 1. Blue Sox have 5 hits, 1 run, and they've left 5. They've left 50 men in the first 6 postseason games. That would have been ball 2, but Richie went after it, fouled it off, and it's 1-2. Fouled off. Blue Sox got Horan to throw 43 pitches in the first 2 innings. Since then, 16, 9, and 12. 37 pitches through the next 3 innings. This is lined to right field and down for a base hit. Burgos is aboard for the second time. That'll bring up Dorian Rojas, 1 for 2 with a single. And we're going to have a pinch runner.
Number 5, Dorian Rojas.
Looks like C.J. McKinnott. It's C.J. McKinnott pinch running at first for Richie Burgos.
Attention, please. Pinch running at first base for the Blue Sox, number 31, C.J. McKinnott.
Dorian takes strike 1.
That's fine. But I know that you have your season records for Harris.
Throw over to first and back safely is McKinnott. Blue Sox fans wanted a balk call. They didn't get it. McKinnott was 0 for 1 in stolen base attempts in the regular season. Dorian wants to bunt. The throw is into right field down the line. McKinnott's on his way to second. Rojas is behind 0-2, but it's an error on the catcher Miller. So McKinnon with the lead at second. No bunting here for Dorian. Up and in, 1-2. And the throw by Miller nearly went into right field again, just getting it back to the pitcher. Wow. Is Miller rattled? You don't want your catcher getting rattled in a one-run ball game. Popped up. Chasen makes the catch. So that'll bring up Julian Alvarez.
The designated hitter, number 24, Julian Alvarez.
Alvarez is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout to center. This bears resemblance to the way the Blue Sox won the first game against the Reds this season. Alvarez pops it up, but it's out of play for strike one. Alvarez swung at the first pitch last time up and flew out to center. He takes inside, 1-1. Doesn't look like anybody's warming for Watertown. This is Matt Horan's game. This is into center field. Back goes Levine. It is gone! Julian Alvarez gives the Blue Sox the lead.
That is home run number 1 on the postseason for Julian Alvarez of the Lexington Blue Sox. Is it his first all season? Yeah.
So that'll bring up Ross Curley. Fly out to center and a line out to first. He wants to bunt his way on, and he fouls it off for strike one. And sound the time to hit the Manny Del Carmen bat signal. It'll be his third appearance in 4 days if he does come in. Yeah, that's him warming up down there in left field. That is Julian Alvarez's first career postseason home run with the Blue Sox. 0-2 the count. So Alvarez's first career postseason home run after hitting 6 career regular season home runs in 3 years with the Blue Sox. And a swing and a miss by Curley. Two down for Thomas Russo.
The second baseman, number 17, Thomas Russo.
Well, the error isn't the culprit in that run scoring, of course, but here's Thomas Russo, singled and stole second in the second, and grounded out 3-1 in the fourth. He grounds this one right back to the pitcher, Horan. He soft tosses to first, but the Blue Sox have done the damage with the 2-run homer by Julian Alvarez. After 6 complete, closing time for the Blue Sox. Blue Sox 3, Reds 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Lexington 3, Watertown 2, scheduled to bat for the Watertown Reds in the top of the 7th inning. Ben Johnston, Will Brennan, and Logan Gillis. one, C.J. McKinnon.
Thank you, Tom.
And the new pitcher in the ball game for the Lexington Blue Sox is number 42, Manny Del Carmen.
Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. So Manny Del Carmen, after throwing over 40 pitches on Tuesday night and getting a 1-2-3 save on Monday night, 1-2-3 save on Tuesday night, comes on to get the save in Game 1 of the Intercity League Championship Series. 1-0 on the postseason with 2 saves, 4 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. He faced the Reds twice in the regular season, getting 1 save and 1 win, in fact, going 2 innings,
Leading off for the Reds in the top of the 7th.
allowing no hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. The Reds have the right guys coming up to bat if they want to prolong this game. Johnston, Brennan, and Gillis. Johnston is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Del Carmen winds and delivers. Outside corner, strike 1. Outside, 1-1. This is hit in the left field, but it's going back and leaping, and it is still in the yard. It's kept in the yard by Zaire. It's a leadoff double. I don't know if that saved a home run, but it's a leadoff double for Johnston. He nearly tied the game. So Johnston's 3 for 4. And that'll bring up Will Brennan, who's getting some advice from Joe Chiodo.
The shortstop, number 11, Will Brennan.
Here's Will Brennan, 0 for 3, reached on an error in the first, reached on a fielder's choice in the second, and grounded out to first in the 5th. Corner infielders coming in. He does not square it. It's outside and nearly to the backstop. But a good save by Vigers for ball 1. Fouled straight back, 1-1. C.J. McKinnon stays in the game at third base. Down and in, another block by Vigers, and it's 2-1. Outside, 3-1. This may be a pitch around situation. Logan Gillis on deck. But again, he's not exactly a breath of fresh air if you're a pitcher. Low for ball 4. 5-pitch walk. Wanted to see if he'll chase. He did not. Sets up the double play, and that'll bring up, again, Logan Gillis, who is now going down to Joe Chiodo. Gillis is 0 for 3.
The the second baseman, number 14, Logan Gillis.
2 strikeouts sandwiched around a fly out to center. Corner infielders come in. He does not square. Outside corner, strike 1. Del Carmen can live there. The 0-1. Here it is. Popped up, fouling out of play, 0-2. Dan Chasen on deck. Del Carmen comes set. The pitch. Just missed outside, 1-2. Wanted to hit that spot he got strike 1 on, but he definitely missed. Infield playing back. Outfield playing straight away. The 1-2. Fouled off. There is action warming for the Blue Sox. Grounder, Del Carmen to second, on to first. They'll put it in his, and it'll be Curley putting it in his back pocket, doing the right thing. Hard slide by Brennan. It'll be first and third, 1 out. Tying run now 90 feet away.
The third baseman, number 44, Dan Chasen.
That'll bring up Dan Chasen. 0 for 1, 2 walks, sandwiched around a pop-up to first. Scored on the 2-run single by Foreman back in the second that gave the Reds a 2-1 lead. Chasen grounds this one up the middle. And they get the runner at second, but the run scores. Joe Chiodo is going out to the mound to argue. Going out to second to argue. It was hit very slowly, so even with Chasen, I don't think they would have gotten the double play. So the game is tied. It's a fielder's choice and an RBI for Chasen. Now they're having a conference. This didn't overturn the call earlier in the game at second that would have favored that also would have favored the Blue Sox. All right. So the call stands. And the game is tied. It's a blown save for Del Carmen. So let's see what Jake Miller can do with a runner at first, 2 down. Swing and a miss, strike 1. The Blue Sox will have Zaire, Barboza, and Vigers due up in the bottom of the 7th. Down and away, 1-1. This is grounded to short. Curley has it, underhands to second, and that'll do it, but the Reds tie the game. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. After 6.5, the Blue Sox need 1 to win. It is the Blue Sox 3 and the Reds 3. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Scheduled to bat for the Blue Sox on the bottom of the 7th inning, Dominic Zaire, Aaron Barboza, and Jeff Vikers.
Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Matt Horan at 96 pitches on 3 days rest goes out there for the bottom of the 7th, hoping to send it into extra innings. Dominic Zaire, who was magnificent in the semifinals, is 0 for 2 tonight. Takes high, ball 1. Matt Horan, who had the only win against the Blue Sox for the Reds this year, pops this one up. Miller coming back towards us, and he can't make the play. It's strike 1. Zaire foul tips that one into the mitt of Miller for strike 2. Man, Horan still throwing gas right now. And on this, about to be his 100th pitch, again on 3 days rest. This is down the right field line, and this will be foul. So it remains 1-2, despite the sliding effort by Foreman. Just about to hit the 2-hour mark of this ball game. Blue Sox took the lead in the first. This is in the left center field. Zaire has won it! A walk-off home run for Dominic Zaire! As soon as he flipped the bat, and the Blue Sox take a 1-0 lead in the Intercity League Championship Series. I saw him flip the bat. I thought he was getting a little too cocky, thinking that would drop just for extra bases. But lo and behold, Dominic Zaire continues his magical postseason. So in a game that took 1 hour and 59 minutes, the winning pitcher is Manny Del Carmen. He is 2-0 on the postseason. The losing pitcher is Matt Haran. He is 1-1 on the postseason. No save. The final totals for the Lexington Blue Sox: 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 5 left. And for the Watertown Reds, 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, and 9 left. Our players of the game are Julian Alvarez with the go-ahead home run, 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Jeff Vigers 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a run scored, and Dominic Zare with the walk-off home run that gives the Blue Sox a 1-0 lead in the Intercity League Championship Series. So, another 1-run win for the Blue Sox. They had to grind it out. Shows what I know. You can win a lot of games that way. You have to win a lot of games that way if you're going to be successful in baseball. And the Blue Sox have won 10 consecutive games in the Intercity League Championship Series. So, with that said, this has been a presentation of the Lexington Blue Sox in association with Local Sports Productions, serving Greater Boston student-athletes since 2011. Copyright 2018, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Lexington Blue Sox or Local Sports Productions is strictly prohibited. LSP's next broadcast is tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m. with Game 2 of the 2018 Intercity League Championship Series between the Blue Sox and the Watertown Reds. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. And be sure to follow LSP on the web, localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon, LSP37, Snapchat, LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. Once again, the final score from Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass. It is the Lexington Blue Sox 4 and the Watertown Reds 3. My name is Sam Feely, reminding you freelance isn't free. Thanks for tuning in.